This is the Gerber Fast Draw, model number 22-07161. This is my everyday carry self-defense knife, mainly just because it incorporates Gerber's FAST technology, which means forward action spring technology, or in layman's terms, it's a spring-assisted knife. The grip here is textured nylon. It has a very good texture on it. If your hand is wet or the knife is wet, it might not be nearly as good as it is dry. But being that it's a knife and not a gun, we don't have to worry about recoil, so that's really not that big of a deal. I'm not going to deduct any props off of it just because of that. Also, before I get too far ahead, I'm going to roll in every once in a while the Gerber Evo, which is my everyday use knife, just as like a size comparison. I have a few months worth of use on this knife. This one's still relatively new, under I'd say under a week actually. But I've used enough knives to know that there's really no difference. So I figured I'd just do a review on, specs and all that. So every once in a while I'll roll in the Evo just for size comparison. I'm getting back to it. The blade itself is surgical stainless steel, coated with a titanium nitride finish. As you can see, it's half and half, which means it's half serrated, half fine edge, with the drop point design. A 3-inch blade, even though I was just talking about the blade, still 3 inches long. The overall length is 7.13 inches, which, if you remember, or if you've seen my Evo review, it's identical in length. It's just the Evo blade has a slightly longer blade itself and the handle is smaller due to the fact that it's a liner locking knife, which means that it has this locking mechanism right here versus your fast action knife. The closed length is obviously 4.17 inches. I'm sorry, that's not right. It's 4.13. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Anyway, 4.13 inches closed, and it weighs 3.16 ounces, which is still extremely light for a carry knife, considering I'm used to my Smith & Wesson HRT, which I will do a review of later. It's a lot thicker than this knife is. This knife's actually really thin. And it's just overall a much larger knife for a manual opening knife. It just really wasn't worth it. I was looking for something new, so I bought this one. I bought it at Walmart for $30. I think it came out to like $31.70 something. I think it was like $31.75 or whatever it was with tax and all that. You can also pick this up at www.gerber-tools.com. You can pick it up from multiple websites. The only reason why I use gerber-tools.com is because, like I said in my Evo review, you can get anything engraved on the blade itself, and you can also get a small little carrying case / sheath that they call it, embroidered as well, for a little bit extra cost, which I think that's kind of cool. My brother has the Gerber Answer, which is a 3.12 or something like that inch blade with a drop point. It's like Gerber's highest quality spring assist knife. It's like $70 or something. And when he got married as a wedding gift, he got his wife got his name engraved on the blade and the carrying case embroidered. So I thought that was kind of cool. So that's why I refer you guys to gerber-tools.com. Just as in case, just like a gift type idea for knife lovers like I am. It's a point-up carry knife, which really doesn't bother me. I don't mind it at all. There's Gerber's name again. I really don't mind it. Some people think it's a disadvantage. I don't see it being a disadvantage at all. And it also has Gerber's standard cross bolt safety is what they call it. It's left side only, which is a disadvantage. It's non-ambidextrous. I'll touch more on that in the pros and cons section, which actually is coming up right now. So, yeah. The pros of this knife. Fast technology. I really enjoy spring assist knives, especially with self-defense knives. For everyday use knives like my Evo here, it's really not important. So the smaller the knife can be, the better. But for a self-defense knife, though, a spring assist is really nice. Also, to touch on another reason why, I kind of touched on the first reason why I carry two knives with me at all times on my Evo review. I'll just go ahead and recap it in case you guys aren't interested in watching this. Every single time you use a knife, the blade dulls a little bit, and in my opinion, you need a really sharp, like the sharpest blade you can get for self-defense. So I always carry a dedicated self-defense knife that I don't use for anything at all except for self-defense, and then I carry another knife that I use for everyday use. Now, I may contradict myself. Some of you may believe I'm going to contradict myself with my next point, but something's better than nothing, and that's really my only argument. With a spring assist knife, it's mechanical. Just like every other piece of technology that's mechanical, it's bound to fail. And whether it be the spring gets locked up or the blade gets stuck or whatever, you're screwed. If you carry one knife and you need to use it in a self-defense role and it jams on you, you're screwed. So I guess this is also my backup knife because it is a manual opener. So I guess that's also something to consider and think about. My next pro, it's a very light knife. It is. It's a very lightweight knife. And I like that. I like that in my carry knives. If it's light and it's thin, I like it. My next pro is that it's a Gerber. Gerbers are really well known for their quality knives, their quality and cost-efficient knives. And finally, my last big pro is a solid safety. I mean, you flip that thing on, and you can't budge this blade at all. A con is the grip feels kind of cheap. It's the grip, it's not the blade. The blade's solid. It's just the grip, and it might just be me. Probably because I'm not used to plastic handled knives. I'm used to aluminum like this one is. But either way, it's just a personal thing. I'll get over it, I'm sure. And the biggest con, which I saved to last to kind of touch on just a little bit, is the single-sided safety. It's only on the left side of the knife, which is fine if you use your right hand. You can activate it, flip it open without any issue whatsoever. Deactivate the safety, close it, and activate the safety again. But if you use your left hand, you have to deactivate the safety, then you have to make sure that your fingers aren't anywhere near the safety area. Because if so, then you can easily activate the safety with your finger when you're trying to open the knife. So with practice, like I have, just opening and closing, since I carry this on my left side, because I'm going to carry my gun on my right, you can easily get used to making sure your fingers are out of the way, so you can easily open the knife. Just a thing that you'll have to practice. It's really not a con. I'm not knocking on the knife at all. It's an excellent knife. I'm sure I'll have it for years to come. I absolutely love it, and it's going to be my self-defense knife until I replace it with my Benchmade that I'm looking at. So that's really it. Any questions or comments on the knife, feel free to leave them. Any arguments or rude or retarded comments will be removed. Thanks, and have a good New Year.